What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back, everyone. This is Lee, and yes, today's the day we'll be going over the results of the A and B testing that I gave you guys last week. So, without further ado, let's begin. Right before we begin with the results, let me throw out some disclaimer. Number one, I am a Nikon shooter. Number two, I've been reviewing the Pentax gear on this channel for 3.5 years. Number three, I hate Canon. Don't like Canon. Yeah, actually that felt pretty good letting that out. And number four, that Leica, that's not my Leica. That's an expensive lens. I don't know. And last but not least, number five, I've been using one camera for this whole time on this exam, and that was the Fuji X-T3. So it was 4 lenses and 1 camera. That sounds pretty weird. So with all that out the way, let's get along with the results. Now, before I gave you guys this A and B testing, I gave you guys a, just a starter question, pretty much, a prequel. Before we get into the actual meat of things, I asked you guys, which of these 4 is the best 50mm 1.4 manual lens? Now, I have taken my SATs before, and obviously, if I saw this question, I would just pick the most expensive one. It's so obvious because the Leica, it's about $4,000 some in that ballpark. But due to the nature of this channel, most of you guys pick Pentax. Yep, 237 voters and 65% picked the Pentax. Wow, that was, see, that's just brand loyalty right there. That's just brand loyalty. You guys don't know better. You see, a lot of you guys just say Pentax because that's the only thing you guys know. You guys don't branch out. You guys don't look at other brands. You guys don't compare and contrast. But I think the most scariest part in this whole question is that 1% in Canon. Who voted for Canon? Who did that? That is terrible. And so, of course, I gave you guys the A and B testing. You guys took it, and here are the results. But right before I give you guys the results, I just want to let you guys know that lens A is the Canon. Lens B is the Leica. Lens C is the Nikon. And lens D is the Pentax. Now, let's take a look at what you guys voted for, because there's a huge difference between what you guys thought and what you guys like. You guys liked some really expensive taste, because when I asked which lens was the best, you guys said Leica was the best performer. Yes, I would have to say it was a lot sharper wide open. Everything was just, it was, I don't want to use the words flawless, but this whole scenario, I mean, it was sunny, clear skies, and it performed so well versus the Nikon, Pentax, and Canon. It just performed so well. When I was focusing with the Leica, I didn't have to put any thought to it. I just rotate the focus ring, and immediately you can see when it's super sharp. You can just see it. Whereas the Pentax or the Nikon, you actually gotta kind of keep focusing just to see if that's the best focus you can get wide open. Now, the next question. Which lens was the worst? And you guys picked it, the Nikon. My Nikon. I was hoping you guys picked the Canon, but with all joking aside, I'll have to say, sharpness wise, it was always Pentax and Nikon. They was never sharp. Never sharp. It was always, if it's sun in the way, never shoot that lens wide open. Don't shoot it wide open. Just go to f2. You'll be fine at f2. The lens will be super sharp. But with the Pentax, I noticed that the softness actually goes on top of the lens as well. I think you guys saw it in my test. But yeah, the softness actually goes circular on that lens. So just want to put that out there. Whereas the Nikon, there's no softness on the top of the lens. But yeah, that's what I saw in my test. Now, the next question I asked you guys was the Bokeh. Yes. And yeah, this one surprised me because I thought that Leica would not get picked, but for some reason you guys picked the Leica. So you guys have expensive taste in Bokeh. That's kind of weird. That's actually a good thing you guys got. So either Bokeh to me looked at pretty okay. Actually the Nikon, my dear old Nikon, it looked at kind of geometric too early in my opinion, but that's just me. You see, I'm really unbiased. If my brand doesn't do too well, I have to admit it didn't do that well. So there you go. Now, here are other things you guys should know. I noticed that in my test, for some odd reason, well, it's not even odd. This is the characteristic in each lenses, right? So my Nikon, it's a lot darker than most of the lenses when you turn up the aperture. So that was something that I noticed. It's always darker on the Nikon. And that's kind of, it was weird. It freaked me out. I thought it was an error. So that's why I do like 3 or 4 days with these testing side by side. And for all my testing, yeah, Nikon was always slightly darker. So that was something that I noticed. Also, the Pentax, something that I also noticed in the Pentax, it's always brighter. It is the brightest one out the bunch. So there you have it. Nikon and Pentax, they're both kind of soft, but Nikon is a lot darker and Pentax is a lot brighter, and Leica and Canon is somewhere in the middle. So there you have it. Now, another thing you guys should know is the Canon. I was actually kind of amazed with the Canon. I don't like Canon, but the Canon, realistically, it was a pretty good lens. I was shocked on how well it focuses. I mean, once you focus on your target, you could see the sharpness really clear, wide open. It was like, oh wow, this lens is actually pretty good. It's a Canon. But yeah, as much as I hate Canon, it was actually pretty good. And because of this results, because of this entire test, I am planning to do a follow-up. I'm planning to do the 1.8. Let me bring it out actually. Now here are my lenses right here. I have the Pentax 1.7, I have the Nikon 1.8, and also the Canon 1.8. Now, this whole reason why I'm doing this test is just to see if Pentax, Nikon, and Canon, if they actually carry over the same quality onto these lower primes. I don't want to say they're lower primes. These are really good primes, but they're like the next step from the 1.4s, of course. So I just want to see if they carry the same quality over. And of course, you don't see the Leica for this round just because, yeah, no more Leica, no more Leica. It's just too expensive at this point. So I'm leaving them out. I'm just going to compare these 3 right here. And yeah, I'm actually quite excited to see what the results are because number 1, this is a 1.7, of course. Number 2, this Canon seems to be quite radioactive. I don't know if you guys can see that yellow tint. Yes, this is radioactive right here. And so yeah, this Nikon, oh man, Nikon may not do too well next round. We'll see, we will see. So with all that said, thank you guys for checking me back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this A and B testing, and let me know down below if you guys were surprised with the results. And yeah, definitely check me back next time, and we'll definitely do the next A and B testing with these lenses. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and definitely, I guess, I'll see you guys in the next one, all right? Take it easy, peace.